On one cold night, there was a small, secluded village deep in the forest. The villagers avoided talking about ancient legends, especially those concerning the abandoned house on the edge of the woods. They believed it was haunted by an evil spirit, and no one dared to go near it. There was a young man named Ahmed, naturally curious, who had heard much about the house. One day, he decided to break the taboo and head towards the house to see for himself if the legends were true. He took a flashlight and set out at night. When he arrived at the house, it looked deserted and abandoned for years. The windows were broken, the doors were decayed, and the atmosphere was eerily quiet. Nevertheless, Ahmed didn't turn back and decided to enter. He opened the door with difficulty, and it creaked loudly. Ahmed entered the house and began to wander through its rooms. Dust covered everything, and the furniture was broken and neglected. The air was heavy, as if something was watching him. As he walked down one of the hallways, he noticed a faint light coming from a room at the end. Fear crept into his heart, but his curiosity couldn't be resisted. He approached the room slowly, and as he got closer, he heard mysterious whispers in incomprehensible languages. When he reached the door of the room, he hesitated for a moment, then slowly pushed the door open. What he saw was indescribable. The room was unusually dark, but in its center sat a figure on an old chair. The figure's head was bowed as if asleep, but it suddenly lifted its head. The face was unnaturally deformed, and the eyes glowed with a strange light. The figure wasn't human, but something from another realm. It lunged at Ahmed with incredible speed, and the air became abruptly colder. Ahmed couldn't move. It was as if his feet were rooted to the ground. The entity came closer, whispered something in his ear in a terrifying voice, and then vanished into the darkness. Ahmed, in shock, finally managed to flee the house. When he returned to his village, he was no longer the same. He became silent, sickly, and his health rapidly deteriorated. It wasn't long before he was found dead in his bed, but the strangest part was that his face was deformed in the same way as the entities in the house. After Ahmed's death, villagers started hearing strange noises coming from the abandoned house, and some claimed to see shadows moving in the forest at night. Over time, the village ceased to exist entirely and disappeared from maps. Legend has it that anyone who tries to enter that house meets a grim fate, and the evil spirit within won't let anyone leave unscathed. Now, the house stands deserted in a forest no one dares to approach, inhabited by shadows and evil spirits forever.